Left, face. Forward, march. Right, face. One step forward, march. September 11th, 2001, the day that changed the world. Good afternoon. Class 129 Steel City Chief Selectees welcome you to this afternoon's gathering to commemorate the 21st anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 attacks, the day that changed the world. Never forget.
It was a clear and pleasant Tuesday morning on that fateful day. The polls for the local primaries opened that morning. Commuters were pouring into the subway system on their way to work, and the World Trade Center complex was coming to life with more than 50,000 employees. This would be the last time we would see this majestic New York City skyline. Never forget.
On the morning of September 11th, a total of 19 terrorists hijacked 4 California-bound commercial airplanes shortly after their departures from airports in Boston, Massachusetts, Newark, New Jersey, and the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. These terrorists would be responsible for committing the worst attack on American soil since the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941. Never forget.
(0846), the North Tower attack. 5 hijackers crashed American Airlines Flight 11 into floors 93 through 99 of One World Trade Center, North Tower. The 76 passengers and 11 crew members on board and hundreds inside the building are killed instantly. The crash severs all 3 emergency stairwells and traps hundreds of people above the 91st floor. Never forget.
(0903) South Tower attack. 5 hijackers crash United Airlines Flight 175 into floors 77 through 85 of 2 World Trade Center South Tower, killing the 51 passengers and 9 crew members on board the aircraft and an unknown number of people inside the building. The impact renders 2 of the 3 emergency stairwells impassable and severs a majority of the elevator cables in this area, trapping many above the impact zone and inside the elevator cars. Shortly after hijacked Flight 175 strikes the South Tower, some workers in the building jump or fall to their deaths, a phenomenon already witnessed after the attack on the North Tower. Estimates of the number of people who die as a result of falling from the Twin Towers range from 50 to more than 200. Never forget.
(0937) Attack at the Pentagon. 5 hijackers crash American Airlines Flight 77 into the Pentagon. The 53 passengers and 6 crew members on board perish. The crash and ensuing fire kill 125 military and civilian personnel on the ground. Never forget.
(0959) Collapse of the South Tower. After burning for 56 minutes, the South Tower collapses in 10 seconds. More than 800 civilians and first responders inside the building and in the surrounding area are killed as a result of the attack on the South Tower. Never forget.
(10:03) Crash of Flight 93. 4 hijackers crashed Flight 93 in a field near the town of Shanksville in Somerset County, Pennsylvania, after passengers and crew stormed the cockpit. The 33 passengers and 7 crew members on board perished. The crash site is approximately 20 minutes flying time from Washington, D.C. Never forget.
(10:28) Collapse of the North Tower. The North Tower collapses after burning for 102 minutes. More than 1,600 people are killed as a result of the attack on the North Tower. Never forget.
(11:02) New York City Mayor orders evacuation of Lower Manhattan. Near the World Trade Center, when the South Tower collapses, Mayor Rudolph Giuliani and senior members of his administration find temporary shelter inside an office building close by. As the dust begins to settle, they walk north, intent on establishing a new base of operations for city government. Reporters catch up with the mayor, who urges the public at 11:02 a.m. to evacuate Lower Manhattan. He will continue to address the public in briefings at temporary headquarters at the New York City Police Academy throughout the day. Never forget.
(17:20) Collapse of World Trade Center 7. After burning for hours, 7 World Trade Center collapses. The 47-story tower had been evacuated earlier.
There are no casualties.
Never forget.
(20:30) The President's address the nation from the White House. The following is a brief excerpt from the presidential address. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist attacks. The victims were in airplanes or in their offices, secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat, but they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people have been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but when they cannot dent the steel of American resolve, America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world, and no one will keep that light from shining. Never forget. Never forget. It's been 21 years since that fateful day, and it's undeniable that the world has changed. In many ways, we are more collectively, more advanced, more savvy, and certainly more poised to live longer, even taking into account a global pandemic. Yet, despite it all, we are also arguably more divided and intolerant of each other's differences than at any other point since the late 1960s. In short, we are torn apart, choosing sides and edgy about what might happen if we're on the wrong one. On that day, we chose to put aside many of our differences and come together as a nation.
It may be the only grace to come from that dreadful memory. How so many people found ways, big and small, to help one another get through the dark, unfathomable tragedy. Maybe reflecting thoughtfully on that unforgettable day can help us heal. If there were ever a fitting way to honor the sacrifice and innocent lives lost in the past, it's to work to be kinder and to be better to one another today and tomorrow. That kind of change would make this 21st anniversary a lot more than a painful look in the past. It would be a hope for the future. Thank you, and God bless America. We are the class 129 Steel City Chief selectees. We thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
Navy Chief! Navy proud!